would not work out.
Yeah.
All right, introduce yourselves.
Everybody. Everybody. Start. Like,
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself.
This
We're
is
rolling,
Lyons
yeah.
Lane.
This is Lyons Lane. Yeah.
we are Lyons Lane. I am Mark Leo.
I'm Thomas Tomcat Thompson.
I'm Matthew Stevens. Shane Wheeler.
And I am Mark Leo.
Just had to get that in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You're not
Make sure it's
Woo! All right.
Okay. How have your musical inspirations shaped your image, and then how important do you think stage presence is?
I would say our musical influence is definitely the main shaper of our image because, it started off as a 50s thing, and obviously the 50s vibe is still apparent in the whole image of it and the outfits and just the way we present ourselves. And we make sure that stage presence is first and foremost because I feel there's no reason to go to a live show if there's no stage presence. You can just listen to the music at that point. Am I right, Tomcat?
Yes, you're very right. Keeping the high energy up, and get some people moving. Stage presence is 100% super important. You can bomb, and if you're dancing,
Stage presence is key.
Is your stage presence more of a persona, or is
Or is
that
it
pretty
you?
true to who you are?
I would say I'm a very laid back, kind of like easygoing guy. So. No, I would say stage presence is pretty exactly how we are, Yeah, we're not faking it all.
So admittedly, before we're not faking nothing, but before we always thought like, oh, we should have some characters. This is a few years ago, and then now we just realize it's so much better to just be yourself on stage. A lot more fun.
And now I'm Mark Leo. But no, yeah.
On and off the stage.
Like Shane here is the most quiet of all of us, and he's also the most tame on stage, and I think I'm kind of out there in real life, so I'm kind of out there on stage, It's like I'm always dancing around and stuff,
That's
even
the
off
prettiest
stage.
hair.
And this is all right.
Plays off of your actual personality.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe it's an amplified version of our actual personalities, It's like everybody's watching us. All right, Tomcat.
Yeah. Did that turn on?
No, it's always been. It's fine. Don't worry.
You guys have been playing live for a few years. How have you changed over that time in your stage presence? Did you start originally with the same kind of ideas?
Oh shit!
Absolutely not.
Tomcat. me and Tomcat have been playing together since high school, and it started off as just like a bar rockabilly band where Tomcat was playing a big old doghouse bass, and I was playing guitar for the whole set, and we'd play for like 4 hours. And it would mainly just be like 50s covers and originals that were more influenced by the 50s before we found what we really wanted to do. Because it happened where it's like I started showing Tomcat demos of songs that I was writing, and then we started writing things, and we started finding what we were going to be. And so eventually, Matthew here came along, and Shane here came along. This is Shane. And ended up, really ended up liking where it was going. So that was all over the course of a few years. So
Yeah, I think we took many forms along the way too.
yeah, I would agree with Tomcat. Yeah, we took many forms.
And then now I feel like.
You feel safe?
I guess feel safe.
Yeah.
I feel like us now,
Dude, I did not like playing guitar for the whole set.
You
It's
can't move around.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't dance.
Yeah, it's like honestly, if I was playing guitar for the whole set, I would be bored. Everybody would be bored. Seriously, even the 3 songs I play with guitar right now, it's well, now I like it. I like how many there are now, But when it was
Yeah, I still hate playing guitar.
All right.
You guys have played. All right, you guys have played a few festivals. Do you think those add to your crowd and following more than regular shows, or how do you think that affects
Ooh, that's a tough question. I don't think we ever thought about that.
No.
Is it more you just like to play both, so
Yeah.
you just choose to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say
It's
that
not to
myself.
get more
All
people,
the festivals we played this year, we were asked to do.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, it wasn't we didn't necessarily apply for any festivals this year. But yeah, at first it was certain festivals we really wanted to play. It was they were goals for us. And I'd say still to this day, there are always goal festivals. But and I would say that they do add more than like the club shows that your headline or whatever. It's like people who are coming out to those already know who you are, unless it's like an opening slot for like a bigger band or something. But I like the idea of music festivals and everything, and like out of state ones at this level would serve us well, because I mean, to be in front of a crowd where it's like nobody knows who you are, and I feel like we have a way to win those people over with our live show. More so than even opening for a band in a club. So yeah, I would say that festivals actually do a better job at adding fans than just a regular indoor.
Mm-hmm. I like playing outside, but I think I do really like about clubs is it's a little closer with everybody.
The intimacy, yeah. Because like the festivals, you do feel far away. Like Arts Beats and Eats.
Oh my gosh,
like,
yeah, no.
I mean, we loved playing Arts Beats and Eats on the national stage and everything. And it was like, we had our video up there, but it was like. It was just like everybody was so far, so it was harder for us to bring it, but we can still bring it. We try to bring it. Yeah, what about
festival versus club?
I think like festivals definitely bring a diverse, like there's a ton of people there. They're not there just to see you, they're not there just to see who's playing on your stage, they're there to see everybody there. So people walk around, they get shit, and I feel like what you're gonna find is that people in the festivals, you'll be more likely to like suck them in, like Mark was saying, by like, oh, like, I actually did like this music, I didn't know this band was playing this type of music at the stage, and they'll get there, and then they may look into the band more. But if you're going to like a club show, like, there's like only a few, like a handful of bands, like, you're probably there for one or maybe two, like, the odds of you really liking another one, I feel like, are lower. I feel like the crowd that you're going to pull generally is going to be a little smaller than at a festival, so I feel like we do probably pull a little better at the festivals in terms of like gaining followers.
Yeah, and I feel like the, last time we played Arts Beats and Eats in Royal Oak, before it was the national stage, when we were on the alternative stage, I feel like that kind of was the best of both worlds in terms of like intimacy and festival crowd, because like we were able to draw, like it was like the whole area was filled with people because we were able to draw people in, but it didn't feel like we were far away from them per se. I mean, obviously like we were the first band on the national stage this year, so it was like there's a whole VIP section that was there for like Chevelle, and like so all the people that were there to see us and people getting drawn in were already far away regardless. But I mean, it was a great opportunity. I'm so glad we were asked to do it, and it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. We were very glad we did it. But as far as the getting of new fans and the intimacy, we preferred a more intimate setting.
Well, Shane's a vet, man. I feel like Shane's played a lot more than you
Shane's
and I.
He's a veteran.
He's
actually a veteran. Yeah.
So what do you think, buddy?
Yeah. So like, where did you serve?
And it's like you get a big like age variety at those festivals.
What are these shoes? I've never seen you wear these shoes before.
Whoa.
These new?
You were.
No, I haven't seen. I've been eyeing them.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of shiny. These are my new Chucks, but no, they're not. Yeah, all right, go on.
Anyway.
You still play a lot of your own shows. You don't I feel like we see you doing your own shows versus opening for people more. Is that just because you like your fans and you like having that, like you said, like the close knit?
Yeah, well, I mean, so our agent is submitting us to like open on tours and stuff, and like when they come on, like to open on like other people's tours or whatever. But like as far as like people who, like we have, man, like there's some that we wanted to open for, and like some that like we were in the talks to open for, and then like it just didn't work out, and it's like, man, like like that one, that would have been great. It was close, man. It was close, but no cigar, man. Like, the venue was all for it. No, we work on it. It's just really, really particular about who we open for in our hometown. If it's like opening for someone somewhere else, like if we're totally down to open for someone away from our, like anybody away from our hometown, because it's like there's more of a culmination of people, but like in our hometown, it's like we have to be more selective with who we necessarily open for.
What are your like criteria for that?
I would just say like, well, I mean, obviously it has to be the same kind of in the same ballpark of music wise, at the end of the day, it all comes back to the music, and also like in terms of draw, a lot of times we get asked by, like, if an outer state is coming to Michigan and they don't necessarily draw much here, like if they're not very much like a well-esteemed act and they're just trying to build up their market, they'd like to ask us because they know they get like a couple hundred people out of us, you know, opening. But if they can't, if they can't draw the same amount or more than us, then why would we open for them?
Yeah.
You know, because it's like that, because like we would want to do it for the you know, sharing of fans and everything. But if we're bringing more people than somebody who's trying to establish themselves in Detroit, it just really wouldn't make sense. And also, you know, money-wise, it wouldn't make sense because if we were to headline that show, you know, we would have been able to pay our expenses better. But yeah, I would say like we very much liked opening for Hannah Wickland. I would say that was a good one to open for, and we got good videos out of that. Only downside is the crowd didn't really like us that much.
What'd you do?
People had talked to me in the show last year when we played.
Yeah, actually, I did do that too. We thought
show.
the crowd didn't really like us that much, but there were some people that really like. It was like they either loved us or hated us, and like some people really liked us and ended up coming up to other shows. So, I mean, that was great. I mean, we never really necessarily regret a show we take. So. Yeah, it's always a good time. And
there's something always to get.
Yeah, we always meet people, you know, and like we always meet people, and it's always nice to hear that people just found us and they like us, or people saw us again. You know, I like the community building. I like the community.
Being out in the community in general is just always good times.
Yeah.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of you guys having a bigger band? Like on stage, like writing music, like all.
Yeah, I would say advantages is like
scheduling is a big thing.
Yeah.
All of us, you know, we're all doing, you know, all of us work. We all have all these different things going on in our lives. And get together.
Yeah, scheduling can become
stuff
very,
like that, but
very tedious. Yeah, but as far as advantages go, like I love, like when it's a bigger stage, I love bringing on like the female background singers and making it like really full. And when it's a smaller show, just doing like a 5 or 6-piece band and everything, like, and I love the fullness. Like I wouldn't want to play without a saxophone like ever again.
That's a given.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be like thinking like, oh, the saxophone was just like the beginning of a horn section, but like even if there's one day where it's a bigger band where like there's also a trumpet and a trombone, the saxophone is always going to be there even at the smaller stage shows. It really goes by stage size at the end of the day. It's like we're not going to bring 7 people out on a small stage, you know. It's like, but we still want to play, you know, so we get 5 or 6. Yeah.
In terms of songwriting, do you guys all contribute, or is it more for the sound of like why you have, you know, a 7-piece band versus like a 4-piece?
Yeah, I would say as far as songwriting goes, the process is usually like, so I mean there's 2 ways we go about it. Either it's like a completely original song or we're like reworking something like with Love Potion No. 9. And with something like Love Potion No. 9 or like taking an old cover and like rewriting it, we bring it to the practice and, you know, we just make sure everybody knows like the key and the chord progressions, and we just like all rearrange it together, you know? And then as far as like original songs, there's plenty of ways to go about it, but usually it ends up with like a demo that I send to everybody, and it ends up being like bounced back and forth remotely. And sometimes it would be like I'll send a demo of my parts, and then Shane will record his part on top, or Tomcat will record his after that, and then we'll all learn it together later on. And at other times, like things are fleshed out in the studio, like with Femme Fatale, it was pretty much all put together in the studio, and our producer like recorded it on his phone, and then we did a demo of it separately, and then we debuted it at the next show, and then 2 weeks later we were in recording the actual studio version, and then a year later it gets released. But yeah, so I mean, there are plenty of ways to go about it, but usually it starts off as a home demo before it's like a live song.
So are you writing like all the lyrics and everybody else is writing their own parts to kind of fit that, or are that's how it happens?
Yeah, as he goes about it, he's definitely main songwriter. I mean, with lyrics and melodies, and like he'll have this whole demo, and most of the time when I'm looking at it, unless it's something, if any writing credits for me, it's like I pitch an idea with a bass or whatever, and then he still goes and makes it like something beautiful.
I think he can.
Yeah,
usually
like sprinkling on on some of the stuff he does, but like he'll put like a whole demo together, and I'll kind of just get adventurous with whatever bass part he was thinking, and normally he's like, "That's cool. I like you added this part. I like you changed this part." So
I like to start things off with a demo because I feel like I can spend the time making it sound exactly how it sounds in my head before Tomcat hears it. So it's not like we all get together and I'm trying to communicate it with words when it's like I really just want to like make it be heard, so like Tomcat can understand where it's going. For example, like we have a song called Thoughts Behind a Smile where I did a whole demo with fake drums and everything and like just left out the bass part and like it's like this is how it sounds in my head, and then I sent it to Tomcat and I'm like I don't even know what he could do for a bass part here. It seems like it's all done, like I don't even know. And then he shot back a bass track with me that added a lot to the song. So it's necessarily like that. It's like as long as the vibe and the feeling of the song is communicated, then the other ideas always fit in. It's like, but there have been other times, we learned like a few years ago when we were playing with other people, it's like if I were to have a song in my mind and then just bring it with a guitar and singing to a practice, it ends up taking a shape that it wasn't supposed to, and then a couple years later we're reworking it to try to make it sound like an original demo of mine, which has happened like a couple times,
Yeah, no, it's like we go too far.
Yeah, exactly.
It's yourself a hole, and it's like now lately we just try our best to like, okay, we have this idea, we put this song together, we'll just go record it how we did it, not really touch much, like when it comes to mixing stuff, we're like, all right, mix one sounds great.
Oh yeah, that's another whole can of worms. Like even just like the studio stuff, like just. But even studio stuff, like obviously we were saying like songwriting, we used to go like way too far in arranging the song and like taking too many ideas and making it way worse than it was at the beginning. But like same thing with like the studio. Like when we were first starting in the studio, like we would just have mixing day after mixing day. Like I think Stop Like Kissing had like 20 mixing days. Like, literally just mixing and reworking, and we don't even like the final product. We did. Like, yeah, exactly. And it's like, sorry J2, J2 did a great job producing and everything, but like it was us like not understanding that if it's not sounding good when you're recording it, it's not going to sound good later mixing it. Like and we just kind of ignored it, thinking like, oh man, J2's just gonna polish a turd for us. J2 is a producer, by the way. Yeah. Stop Like Kissing is very well polished. Yeah. It's a well polished turd, but it's still a turd. I feel like if we were to do it now, we would literally just go in, record it all in one day, and then like J2 would mix it, send it back to us, and we would have no notes. That's it. We would just make sure it's good while we're recording it. Like, oh, that's not sounding right. Let's redo that. But it's like we kind of just from the foundation up when we were recording that, it was off where we wanted it to be, and we didn't understand that it's not just going to magically sound different. That was a long answer to the question. Yeah, it went way off course.
When you're writing songs, how are you blending like the 50s, 60s sound with like more indie or like alt rock?
I would say that happens very naturally, actually, just because it's like, it's kind of just like, you got to keep in mind, I spent my entire teenage years just listening to like strictly 1950s music, or like 1950s inspired.
Formative years.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, writing stuff that's a little, and honestly, as far as like, I've always heard like 50s rock and roll, and especially like that 50s pop, like a song we cover, Sweet Nothings by Brenda Lee, or even like the original Love Potion No. 9, or a lot of those doo-wop songs. Like, I'm a big doo-wop guy, or a lot of stuff with that surf beat that I kind of hear it like already as alternative. I just feel like they don't really have they didn't have the technology back then to make it happen. So in my head, I'm pretty much always just writing songs that are kind of like what I heard, but I could be writing something that leans more towards alternative, and then like a little lyric I picked up from some blues song I heard when I was 15, like a word, like that's like kind of where the rhymes come from. It's just like an amalgamation of all the rare 1950s songs I heard, or even like stuff that they were listening to and stuff like that. So to answer your question, it blends very naturally.
Kind of like how, you said like the vibe of the song, Tomcat will just like fill it in. It's like you just know.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, you guys said that scheduling is hard with a bigger band. What does like practice and recording look like for you guys?
Did you,
So
did
many
you just
forms.
write that question?
No, we had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, but you didn't have it with the you said that
No.
schedule. Okay, alright. I'm like, no way. They like told the future. They're like writing out these questions. They're like, you said that scheduling. Like, they're gonna say scheduling. No, but alright. I was so focused on that. What was the question?
What does practicing and recording look like for you guys?
It takes so many forms, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, usually, we're pretty consistent with Sunday practices. So, yeah, I mean, obviously we hit it harder if there's a show coming up. As far as recording goes, it's usually like when the producer wants to record something, he'll like book out a whole week for us, and we'll just like knock out like. We'll say it's gonna be 5 songs. We end up like throwing a 6th in there, which is funny because like that 6th song like ends up like being, I'd say, like the
best
tightest.
one?
Yeah.
The best
Oh
one
yeah. The one we
recorded.
weren't planning on recording. Like for example, in our like studio week back in May, we had like we were doing a song called Emma's Addiction, where like they pulled out like a full-fledged 1930s drum set, and Shane was playing this 1930s drum set, and it was mic'd up like far and everything, and it just sounded so good. And I was just telling the producer, I'm like, well, while we have this off, let's just like knock out another song. And I'm like, Shane, what should we do? Should we do Love Potion number 9 or Second to None? And he's like, I think Love Potion number 9. And this is like right like after we posted that video that was like the first to go viral. Like it was probably at like 4,000, 5,000 views at this point. And like we decided to just knock out Love Potion number 9, and then a week later, that video passed like 100,000 views, and people were asking for it on Spotify. So we just released it like 2 weeks later because we happened to have it recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's to answer your question, that.
Speaking of social media, do you guys run your own?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Is it hard to run your own without like outside help?
I would say so. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready to delegate that. Yeah.
Lions Lane is hiring, guys.
yeah, for sure. And yeah, I mean, like the whole like consistent reels posting it gets tedious, especially because it's like, all right, like what we were doing, it needs to take a new form now, and like, I mean, it'd be nice to delegate social media to somebody with a little more experience, and plus, like TikTok never really liked us. So. The reels crowd
I
likes
really like
us.
TikTok, so.
Nice, yeah. Hopefully it gets banned.
I really like TikTok with that.
How are you guys deciding on content? Like, how do you decide to post that first, like,
Do
video that
you
went
try
viral?
to post stuff that you know will go viral, or do you just post whatever you like?
Well, I would say it started off like early this year. Like we made the goal for 2024 to have 10,000 Instagram followers. Because yeah,
You-
we're like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we started the year with maybe 1,400.
Yeah.
1,400. So like February, I'm posting videos that are like kind of based on what I saw going viral or whatever. So it was like me in front of a camera in my room or whatever, like singing or some shit. And like it just wasn't me. Like I felt like very much like, man, like it was inauthentic at the end of the day. And I remember like looking at like my goal list like on my wall in February and thinking like, oh my god, like how is the 10,000 followers actually gonna happen? Like it's not gonna happen. I mean, I wasn't necessarily doubting it, but I didn't say it was not gonna happen. It's not like
seems
how
so
is that
Not
gonna
with what you
happen?
were doing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, this isn't working. It's like our reels are getting less engagement than our posts, and our posts are getting even less engagement. It's like this social media thing is not the cup of tea. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's just I was making shit posts, you know? But then we played that Hannah Wicklund show, and because like the majority of the crowd wasn't really vibing with us, we just like went more crazy than usual. And we had a friend there videotaping it, and I remember he sent me all the videos, and like I looked at all of them and I'm like, man, like, my voice was not on that day, like I can't use any of these videos at all. Until like maybe a month later, and I saw the Love Potion number 9 video, and I'm like, this is actually a pretty cool video, you know? So I first like posted the saxophone solo, and then there was just that one part that I look like I'm from 1956 part, and I was just like, this kind of shows like what we are, so I'm just gonna like put that out there. And I just wanted to be authentic with like, this is our live show and this is what we are. And I remember like a week went by and it was still like, it wasn't even our most viewed reel. I think it was like at like, 1,000 or 2,000 views, and I'm just like, man, like, I remember thinking, like, looking at my phone and being like, I kind of thought that one would actually, like,
what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, I was like, I kind of thought that, because I heard that they changed their algorithm at that time to, like, show it to people who don't follow you first. And, like, if they like it, then they'll show it to more people. I knew that right when I started posting reels again, and I looked back at those videos. And so, like, I looked at that video, and I'm like, why are people, like, why isn't this working? Like, I thought, like, this is cool. I thought this was a cool video. And then, like, we got one hate comment from, like, we got, like, a hate comment from, like, somebody that just didn't like it at all. And it ended up, like, it was my first hate comment, so I was still, like, like, I'm still, like, arguing with it. And then there's all that engagement in the comments because it was, like, a back and forth argument. And, like, 9 days, like, it was after the reel has been posted for 9 days. That's when it was our first reel that passed 10,000 views. Then 100,000. And then, like, that one got, like, I think, like, 400,000 or some shit. And then we did the same one with the studio audio, and that was our second million view reel. So, yeah, it's funny that it was once we went authentic, that's when the social media
I
started.
remember being at the studio and we were like, dude, this is like kind of like, because like I help with like comments and stuff on social media, but he's running the show and all that, because I'm terrible at social media. I don't even post my own. And he's looking at me, he's like, dude, this is like kind of moving a little bit. And we're like, oh, it's like refreshing. You're like, oh.
Yeah, he had to turn off my Instagram notifications.
Oh,
I was like having like all this screen time. I'm like in the studio, like, what? Turn them off.
20 hours a day on
Yeah, exactly. This is great. Yeah, that was right when that first video started taking off. Yeah.
What was that feeling of growing so quickly?
I would say it felt normal, honestly.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
natural.
yeah, I mean, like we weren't like over the roof, and we also weren't like scared that it was gonna end. Because I remember once it hit like 30,000 views, we were like, okay, like we're satisfied. It's pretty cool. Once we hit 3,000 followers, we're like, okay, we're in the 3K club. I remember Tomcat saying like we want it to be like 3,100, so we never get out of the 3K club. We're like, all right, we're content. Like we can't expect this video to do any more for us. And then like that video alone ended up like getting us over 10K. Yeah. Or I mean, obviously we're still consistently doing it, but. And there was another couple that helped, but yeah, I mean, we were content. We were content ever since 3,000 followers. Yeah.
Anything about that was just like, oh, cool.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a bonus ever since. Yeah, which is funny because now it's like a lot more than 3,000. But like, I mean, it happened so fast. But like, even when it was like 10K, we're like, man, that last 7K was just a bonus. It's like, and what's great about these followers too is like they're like interacting followers. It's not like they're passive.
It's not like you get the followers and you post something else and it's like, oh, they don't all see this very much. People are commenting, people are liking. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, they actually became like fans of it, and I think it's because it was videos of us playing live. Like it was as if like. Somebody from Wichita was seeing us live, and we haven't played in Wichita. I'm just naming a city.
It was crazy. When you posted something on like a poll, like where should we go next? And then it's like New York.
Your comments are like come to Brazil.
And that happened, like as soon as it was like 3,000 followers, it was like all of a sudden like people were like really becoming like fans of it. That was pretty cool. I mean, we were waiting for it. Honestly, we've been doing this for so long. It's like. Okay, cool. It's like
very thankful.
We're very thankful. It's like that's what it comes back to. Because I remember like there was even one time I was like standing over there, like where you're sitting, and like I was just telling the guys like, thank God, like something happened this year. Because like I wouldn't know what to do. Like I have to reevaluate everything. Like it's been so long. It's like we thought we found the winning combination like last year. It's like I'm just so glad that people started liking it.
Has it been hard?
Wait. We gotta
switch the side of the CD.
Oh, are we?
Okay.
I know. Yeah. I said
between two.
My pants are getting all that close.
Wow, that's a big bottle of smart water.
I know.
I bought it.
He did.
Why is it smart? It's like
Extra
already
smart.
like you only drink that much water, don't you think?
Well, for when I slip, your mouth is shut.
Are we
Oh,
recording?
really?
Water.
Not easily.
Oh, really? So when you drink water, your mouth is
Not dry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Has it been hard to keep that momentum, like after you blew up, like in terms of like how do you approach your social media now? Is it like you're trying to find something new, so it's not like just
Yeah, I would like to like be able to do stuff that's not just like a live video of us, you know. But I feel like that's like the most authentic. But then I've been trying to find other stuff that's like authentic to us, but it's not just a live video of us. Like there was one of me dancing around when I was 14 that like did pretty well, you know. And that was like me literally trying to do that. It's like, all right, what can I do that's like also authentic but not like the same exact thing. So I guess it's just finding that, you know. It's not like, and plus I don't want to be doing the same thing. Like I didn't want to beat a dead horse, you know. Like
Just keep posting.
No, I didn't want to do that, you know. And that's why I was also glad like over the summer like the Femme Fatale video hit like 1 million views too, because that was like before the biggest Love Potion #9 video. So it's like, thank God, like it wasn't just Love Potion #9. Nobody wanted anything else. So that we're very grateful for that too.
Have you guys been approached by a lot of promoters and everything from blowing up? Like,
yeah. I mean, I would say, so like our lawyer, we talked to like right before we blew up, but like our agent we found because of like a cold email from like a friend of hers that wanted to manage us, and there's like, I forgot we have like a sync deal that's because of that, and I would say like, I would say like everything in our inbox is because of like the social media presence, you know. I mean, and I can say that 100% because at some point we switched our email like right when it was happening, because we were being mentored by somebody. We're still mentored by somebody. I know people who can help me at these steps where it's like they've been there. So it's like, he was like, you gotta get your domain name and your email. So we started a new email address. So it's like everything that's been emailed to us since we went viral per se has been because of that.
Are you guys looking to go on tour soon? Like, have anyone out of like state?
Yeah. I mean, we'd like to next year. Yeah. I mean, we have Philly, New York in January, but it's not like a tour. Right now, it's more like Weekend Warrior stuff. But I feel like our first tour would be signing on to somebody who's already touring.
Maybe the first time I'll stay.
Yeah.
First time
Philadelphia. Yeah.
how-
That's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
and he's Mark Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that. I'm Mark Leo.
Yeah.
I didn't say that on this half.
Yeah,
I gotta say that on the DVD. Yeah. Good stuff.
Do you guys structure an EP or like album to have a story, or do you just throw all your best music you have recorded in there? Like,
Okay, I would say there's always been a story. Always. Like I always wanted it to be, you know. But it's like it's always changed. The story, but I would say every song is always connected.
It's like you're.
Because I want it to all be a musical one day.
I think it's all. We've talked about this before. He's explained, you know, it's like all part of the same story, but like with the game, with like singles, and like you can't really just drop an album for like your first thing.
Yeah,
To be a full
exactly.
story that
Yeah.
he sees it as, it has to be a full album, and it's like.
Exactly. Shit's like out of order now. Yeah, the original like the first demo was like, remember like it was just like my high school crush story. Yeah. it was just like a story like that. But like I would say like there is some overarching thing that could combine every song.
you're gonna have to make a lore video.
So,
Yeah, it could be like 21 Pilots things, you know? Like
YouTube video essays.
Yeah, like seriously.
Which one he's never explained?
Yeah, which one?
Nothing.
That's it. Tomcat can
I said, what's the lawsuit?
What?
Nothing. No.
When you're working on a project, like how are you deciding what to release as singles?
Is it just your favorite?
You
Or,
know,
what
like
you think is
honestly, with
best?
Streets, we kind of just threw it out.
Yeah, we
It was like it was the next one that
Yeah.
got mastered. We were like,
yeah, we didn't want that one, the last one. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. I'm hoping one day it's like a label gets involved and it's just like, all right, these are the singles.
They tell you.
You know what? Yeah. Seriously, which I think is not supposed to be
Instead
what
of
you
just
want.
feeling it out like, oh, sure, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
We honestly, we just kind of go for it. I mean, like obviously with Love Potion, we had people were asking for it. You know, we always talked about going for Josie because we have poor Josie though. and we were like, yeah, that's a good, that's a great single. I think it's, nice and simple, good song, got a nice melody.
Yeah, it was a good like early one.
Yeah, it was a good early single. Then we're just like, let's just throw a Love Potion in it. Everyone's talking about it, so I'll just throw it on there. And it worked out. So that's the only ones that I think was like playing.
And then I would say, but I'd also say like they're like just the ones that we've been like saving until we have like other backers. Like it's like we want Aisha to be a single, Aisha Rose to be a single eventually, and Clockwork to be a single eventually, and even honestly like second and kind of second and done. Sorry, we got
Everything's being a single.
It's like honestly like I would say like the ones that we think are like the biggest hits, like we're saving.
We got tons. We got tons recorded right now.
Yeah.
We have a lot of music. It's just
about
getting all the mastering and mixing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like there's a whole there's a whole EP we're ready to like put out, but I wouldn't say like
that was our next question.
they're like hits, but like they're like it's like music that we like.
That was gonna be our next question. I know you guys just put out an EP, but is there anything in the works?
Okay, that wasn't supposed to be an EP.
No.
Yeah, it was
You just
supposed to
did
be
it?
a single. Yeah, I was doing the trick where it's like Spotify autoplays, and so like the 3 songs after it, I guess it's described as an EP, but when it was 2 songs after it, it was still a single. So, but that'll be fixed. Don't worry.
All right. Well, do you have anything coming soon?
Yeah, I mean, there's an EP that's ready, but we're just not sure like when it will be out. So we will see. Yeah, we'll see.
We play it by ear at this point.
Yeah, it's like things are changing so fast. So I mean, we're in about those shows right now and figuring out more recording and everything. We're doing some more demoing today to get back in the studio. And, so
They got stuff working.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
tell the people where to find you. Plug all your stuff.
all right, we are Lyons Lane. You can find us on Instagram at Lyons Lane.
Finally, right?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Didn't it used to be?
She knows. She knows. I was about to mention like there's a $900 username.
That was
Lyons Lane
that was-
at
Oh my
Lyons Lane
gosh.
costed $900. Yeah. What?
Yeah, that was we paid a lot.
Going in the lore video.
Going in the lore video.
Yeah, and that was before, that was before the band ever made money either. It was like a 401k loan. Yeah.
Like a payment plan for this handle.
I knew a reel would never take off with @lions.ln. So it's like literally fucking like bought that shit. I don't think you're allowed to.
That's illegal.
Really?
Yeah, that felt good going in my bio. I was like, yeah.
Dude, I called Tomcat because like I didn't change it. Like it was like I checked one day and it was at Lyons Lane. I literally called Tomcat like, dude, check out our username. He's like, what? He's like, what the fuck? I thought you were scammed. And I'm like, I did too.
We talked about it a million times. He's like, yeah, I might pay to get this done, and I have no clue what they did or what happened. But like, he's like, I might pay to get this done. I was like, I don't know, man. And he texted me, he's like, I did it. I'm out 900. I'm like, what? One day and it's there. I'm like, no.
Yeah, and I mean, but you gotta remember too, like companies like Disney and shit, or like Marvel and stuff like that. Like when there's a new thing, when they need a username like @Spider-Man,
They take
like,
that shit.
Yeah, they claim it. They buy it. They pay like $3,000 to do it. So I got a deal, it's technically legal to a point, but it's like I didn't buy it. Apparently, you can't buy it. Like you can't sell a username. So,
Yeah.
I didn't buy it off of the last owner. It was an inactive account.
Oh.
That was like inactive since 2014.
We tried to message
So, like,
this account.
Yeah, we tried to buy it.
blowing up their DMs.
Yes, we tried. Oh yeah, I wanted to I was gonna pay him like $50.
I did that for our magazine.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I messaged Dirt and I was like, come on, why do you need this?
Now we're
Did
dirt
it-
mad.
Oh really? Did they?
They
No.
never answered.
Is it on inactive?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Have they posted in the last 2
No.
years? No.
No.
Oh, you can buy that shit for $900. If it's ever worth it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we figured like we were not moving any further if we.
With Lions.lm.
Yeah, were you there when it was that name?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you guys at Fisher Hall or something. So
Oh,
probably,
shit.
yeah.
Wild.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And you saw us at Arts Beats and Eats last year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, they
We've been
both-
around.
They both knew it before it was at Lyons.
Yeah.
That means you're real ones because everything happened after the username buy. That's what it is. If you want, do not. Yeah. Do not have anything else other than the band name in the Instagram username.
All right, where else can they
Sorry.
find you?
Oh, also on Facebook at Lyons.ln.
Their TikTok.
No, I think it's Lyons LN on Facebook. So if you look up Lyons Lane on Facebook. TikTok, if you really want to go on there, it's just like whichever reels.
it's getting
we
shut
recommend
down.
post there. Yeah, it's at Lyons.lane. And then the website is LyonsLN for lane.com. LyonsLN.com. And then we also have merch at merch.lyonsln.com. Or you could go to the website and press merch.
Lyons, by the way. That's not.
You know that. Thanks, Matt.
Spotify and any streaming platform.
Oh yeah, yeah. Apple
the
Music,
music,
yeah.
yeah.
Deezer,
Lions.
yeah. Bootplay.
No, yeah, this is true.
You
Yeah.
pirate all their music, guys.
Woo!
Pandora.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's Lyons Lane.
We're on touch
That's Mark
tunes if
Leo.
you want to put us in,
Yeah.
put us in the bar. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm Mark Leo. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank